Yeah, okay. Okay, Kumulana Black Gemara, we're up to the Chav Test Amid Aleph of Yuma. Says the Gemara, Shochtu Satami, the Shech the Tami, they realized it was they were looking at the wrong rays, the rays of the moon rather than the sun. The Gemara is going to establish that astronomically, the moon does not rise in the very late hours of the night or the very early hours of the morning, only in the very end of the month, where it's positioned in the sky. But in the middle of the month, the moon sort of tapers off and it's no longer there a couple of hours before the morning. So how is it possible that they saw the moon? Amos, when did it happen? The rest of the year. First of all, the rest of the year, why does it say he was a Kohen Gadol? The story about it, Gemara is learning the Mishnah as if it's a continuation, and the Kohen Gadol has to go to mikveh and all that. Sounds like it's all one story. It means, how can it happen Yom Kippur? First of all, it has to be Yom Kippur. Sorry, if it's talking about the rest of the year, why was it the Kohen Gadol who did this activity? Any Kohen can do it. Ella must be talking about Yom Kippur. How can they have mistaken the Oil Lavana and Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur there's no Lavana an hour before the morning. You read the Mishnah wrong. It's not a continuation. It's two parts. Then they said that the sky lit up. Then you jump to the end of the Mishnah. That's when they started the whole process of going to the mikveh. But in the middle, there's a story during the year. That story happened during the year that they made a mistake, and because of that, they decided, throughout the year, every single day uniform. This is the procedure. They're gonna have this hair, bakoi. Even though Yom Kippur is not shaykh to make this mistake, once you make a rule, you make it every day. Not only did they say this, they also happened a similar thing. Also, when it comes to malik of a bird, by mistake they made it too early, or kamitzas mincha, or by mistake, no, they thought it was morning already and it was still nighttime. If they made a kamitzah of a mincha, belayla to sun, you have to burn it. Okay, you can't remedy the oif if you shechted it, in the wee hours of the morning, which was still nighttime. Found.
So you checked before the call.
That's what it sounds like, correct? Even though it's not say that it should be the first, but you checked it before. And the what's the big deal? You took a kmitza, right? You scooped it out of the mincha, and then you had the rest, and then you realize it was nighttime. So put it back and do another kmitza. Why can't you, just like we learned yesterday, that Shnei Zira Eitzim you can remedy? Why can't you remedy this? Why don't you just go ahead and put the kaimets back in? You're telling me that just like the carbon tamid you did in the nighttime, you have to burn it. Malika's if you did in nighttime, you have to burn it. I understand. And now you're telling me, but also kaimets of the mincha. I don't understand. Why kaimets mincha can't you just put it back? What's he saying? He said it and he answered. I'll tell you the answer. No, he quoted this brayso, now he's explaining. He said because klei shad is mekatchen. When you take that kmitza, Rashi learns talking about the kmitza, the other Rishonim learns talking about the shirayim. But you take the kmitza, you put it into a klei sharis, and the klei sharis makes it holy. But it's nighttime, so now we have the psul of lina, that it stayed over from the night until the morning, and what happens then? It's possible. So that's why the kaimet you can't remedy it anymore, because it became possible for lina. And why did it become possible lina? Because you put it in klei shadas, and the klei shadas is mekadosh. Says the Gemara. Who he answered klei shadas mekadosh, and I feel like it's man. Klei shadas mekadosh, even though it's the wrong time, it's nighttime, it's still mekadosh. So Gemara, is that so? Makes the last question. Zeh cloud. This is the rule. Kol hakodesh b'yoyim kodesh b'yoyim. Anything which you are makir by day, for example, carbon mincha, or any other activity that's during the day. When does the keli make it holy? In the klei shadas, only by day. It becomes kedushas haguv, becomes holy. The chol hakodesh b'layla, and anything that you have to do at night. For example, if you didn't bring your nesachim with your carbon, you have 10 days later you can bring it. You can even bring it at night. So if you brought it at night, so then you put it in klei shadas, it becomes sanctified at night. The chol hakodesh bein b'yayim bein b'layla. Anything that can brought during the night, the fats and all that, kodesh bein b'yayim bein b'layla, becomes holy by day and by night. Tani is, but what do we learn? However, kol hakodesh b'yayim, only kodesh b'yayim. If it's meant to be brought up in the day, it's only can be done during the day. So b'yayim in b'layla loy. So if you put the kaimus of the mincha, the klei shadas at night, nothing happened. It is not mekadosh because it's the wrong time. So the question goes back: why can't you remedy the carbon mincha? Put the kaimus back and then do it again. So the Gemara, you misunderstood pshat. Dilma, perhaps the pshat is ain't a kaddish lekaddish. What it meant is that does not become kaddish. That to bring it up, it's not yet holy. You have to put it again clay shadows to make kaddish for your makavit. Aval kaddish lepasul, but lina does kick in if you put in a clay shadows. It's a modicum of kedusha enough to passel it or disqualify it for being from lina. Yeah. So the Gemara, that's a very simple question.
Put this into this klishavas.
Yeah.
The ingredients for the mincha, but you're not going to do anything with it until taka the right time, until daylight.
That's right.
So the fact that you put it in at night
makes it
modicum
kaddish.
That you can't now let it sit there and use it later on to.
You have to burn it. Exactly right. Also, if a psul yom touches it now, it becomes tamei. Psul yom only passes if something is holy. If you did not put in the clay shutters, a psul and a psul yom touch it does not become pasul. Right. So therefore, this clay shutters, even though it's the wrong time, it is not going to make it kaddish yet, but it makes it a modicum of kedusha that psulim kick in. Lina, psul yom, psul yom, and and all that. Says the Gemara, I have a very simple question to you. Most of there's a question that says, you organize the bread, and the frankincense, but you did it not, you're supposed to do it right on Friday, you get it all ready, and you put it in, and on Shabbos you put it on, and then for the following Shabbos all fresh. But you did it on a Sunday. So when it comes like Shabbos, came like Shabbos, you put the bezichin up in the Be'er Psula, because he didn't sit there, had to sit there from Shabbos to Shabbos. It wasn't there from Shabbos to Shabbos. Right? It's a mechusar man. It's mechusar man. Now the question is, Kate said, yes. So what you do to remedy it? Leave it on the table, to the Shabbos, which is 6 days, and leave it another week on the table to the next Shabbos, the following Shabbos. The Shabbos, leave it to the next Shabbos. We don't care if it's at the table for a long time. According to you, that when you and the word is the table is clay shutters. The word is that it was put there the wrong time, so there's no problem of lina. But you just came along and made a chiddush that even though you put in the wrong time, it's insufficiently clear that if it's longer than it should be, there's a psul of lina. No, so how can lechem panim be kosher if you put it on a Sunday?
So what he's saying technically this lechem panim becomes kind of holy the next Shabbos, but it sort of becomes a lechem upon him next Shabbos when it's the time for it to happen. Even though you put it early on a Sunday, you should put it on a Shabbos. So it's loy bezmanoi. Right. But you just said that loy bezmanoi passes it by lina, so it's possible. It's longer than 7 days. Yeah. But what he's saying is leave it now till the next Shabbos. That's what he's saying. Leave it for 13 days. Leave it on. Yes. He's asking, how can you? It's lina. But my teacher, the apostle Rabbi said, he compliments him. It's a good question. But don't slug up Rabbi because Rabbi Avin was quoting a brayse. Nami Masiti Kamat. He was quoting a brayse, and he just explained why the kod mincha, why you have to burn it, because it became kodesh clay shutters. Clay shutters at night. It doesn't become kodesh. It becomes kodesh as enough to make lina. So it's a brayse, and you have a good question from Lechem upon him. So we can't just repudiate what Rabbi said. We need to explain, reconcile these two brayses, and I'll tell you how. These two didn't. Laila mechusas man. He holds nighttime is the night of this very day. So therefore, the kodesh creeped in already because it's the right day. Now, l'poil you can't bring it. It's mechusas man. So therefore, l'poil you can't bring it. Therefore, it became enough kodesh that it's psulina. But when you put it the day before or the Sunday before, it's b'chlal not shaykh to lechem apanim. So it's not a question of mechusas man. There's no kodesh here whatsoever. So there's no psul of lina. Says the Gemara, which means that when this whole validity of this lechem aponim kicks in is when it's sitting on the table that Shabbos. Yeah. So the Gemara asks the obvious question: what about Friday night? It's sitting on the table, and Friday night comes in, and you're telling me that Friday night is already considered the day. No, but it's the wrong time because it's supposed to put a Shabbos by day. So why didn't it become possible? Okay, it wasn't possible Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because it was a late bismanei. But Friday night is bismanei, but it's mechusas man. Why didn't it become possible then? But when it comes Friday night, and actually we told us once that every time it says Beishimsha, it means Ben Hashmashas of Friday night. That's the famous Ben Hashmashas. Tigdish with Tifsel. Why doesn't it become possible? Avina answers shekodem v'silko. Notice what you do. You leave it on the table till Friday right before Shabbos, and you take it off. You put it somewhere else. They put it back Shabbos by day. But your problem originally was how did you even leave it on the table Sunday to Friday? That we resolved. That's Ravina's answer. By the way, Ravina's real name was Rab Avina, and our Gemara in Yerushalmi they cut off the first letter of all the names, the aleph and all that. In our Gemara, a lot of the names, they bridge together the Rab and the name and put it together. so Rabba is Rab Abba, Ravina is Rabavina, and so on. Ravina said, "Shekodam the Sitigro." Mazuti v'dem Rabashi Amar Afilu Tema Shalei Kodam Zevin. No, I'll tell you a bigger chiddush, because it sounds like from this din over here that you don't have to take it off. It says you leave it on the table. It sounds like you just leave it on the table and just leave it there until Shabbos to Shabbosim. So one of us, Kivan Shesidru Shalei Kimitzvasi, because you put it at a time. Below Kimitzvasi, knows Leibus Mani Sunday before. Nasik Kimoshe Sadrakot. When do we say Klei Shodas? Like a monkey put it there. When do we say that Klei Shodas? When do we say Klei Shodas is Mekadesh if you did it Bekavana? Since you did it on Sunday, even though you did it Bekavana, but because it was the wrong time, it's like nothing happened. And when it comes Shabbos, you're worried about Friday night. But when it comes Shabbos, it's automatically sitting there. Nobody put it in. There was no Kavana. So therefore, there's no psul. So it must be that Shabbos by day, you have to pick it up and put it back down. Because otherwise, it's still sitting there below Kavana. Yeah.
Could you say that a nafkamina lepoil in today's day and age would mean that you cannot do this by automated system? It has to be a ben adam with a kavana. I couldn't put a machine that will put things on the mizbeach.
Yimi, you're becoming very controversial over here.
No, I mean, l'chayr, this is kamasa hakoif means that it's not a ben adam with kavana l'shem mitzvah.
Yeah, so here is a totally not by us. You put it Sunday when you couldn't have the shay. Even if you had in mind the shay mitzvah, it's meaningless because there's no mitzvah on a Sunday to put lechem upon him. When you do something automated and you turn the switch on, and B'shas Ma'aseh, a boss of Adam turns the switch on, and has in mind L'Shem Pesach, that's the machlekes if that's good enough or not. But you're right. If it's an automated machine that's like on a clock that comes on automatically, then you're a step removed from the button. Then it's an even bigger problem. Okay. Says the Gemara further, that every time they went to the bathroom to defecate, they had to go to mikveh. And every time they urinated, they just washed their hands and their feet. I understand why you have to wash if you urinate, why you have to wash your feet, because maybe some droplets, from urine. If you didn't use your hands to wipe yourself, why do you have to wash your hands again for? And Taisus and all the Rishonim say this is a general question when you go to the bathroom. Not only about cleaning, when you go to the bathroom. If you didn't touch anything, do you have to wash your hands? And here we have we learn out mitzvah l'shavshed. It's a mitzvah to use your hands to make sure that there's no droplets there. Why is it so important to make sure there's no droplets there? Who cares if you droplets? They'll dry eventually. The Gemara was always worried. Slander. You have a responsibility to not allow people to gossip about you. Yisim Nikim Hashem Yisrael is a mantra that the Gemara really lived. So over here, also you're not allowed to walk around with droplets on your feet. People are going to say that your male member is cut off, that you're not, that you can't, and that's why you have droplets on your feet. And what are they going to therefore say? So how will you have children? Must be from another man. Your wife must have been cheating. Look how far the Gemara is worried about slander. What about slander? Here's a big machlekes of Shani made a long place of Shani and everybody else. It's interesting whether when you go to the bathroom, what bracha do you have to make? Taisa brings opinions. You have to make Asher Yotzar and the Tilas Yadayim, both. Taisa has another opinion, and just a lot of Rishonim hold that when you go, you urinate, you don't make any bracha at all. Maybe you don't even have to wash. If you touch, you wash, but no bracha at all. It's only when you defecate do you make bracha Asher Yotzar. And very interesting machlekes. Have time to learn. The Taisa Shonim right over here. A little bit of Taisa, the long Taisa here as well. And yeah, we'll continue Mitzvah Shem on Tuesday.